Hello everyone, and welcome to the Puyo Nexus discussion of the recently announced Puyo Puyo Chronicle. I'm your host Tucker, and I'm joined here today by Nostalgia Ninja,
Good evening.
Panban Richard,
Yo, what's up?
S2,
My name is stupid.
and Zelos.
Hello.
So, SEGA recently announced a new Puyo game for the series' 25th anniversary. What I wanted to do was run through everything we know and individually express each of our thoughts. So let's start with what we think of this announcement. Are you happy with what SEGA is doing here? We're getting a RPG in addition to the standard anniversary-styled Puyo game. So we have Sue, Fever, and whatever else we're not telling us, because there's like 17 different rules, I guess.
For me, I'm like really happy about all this because I've been talking about before with the 25th anniversary game. I was really hoping that they wouldn't go with the 25th anniversary route with how 15th and 20th went. So to see that they're going with a whole new game, while acknowledging that it's still an anniversary title, they are going with the new twists and turns while still maintaining the mechanics of what Puyo Puyo is. So I'm happy to see it go in this direction personally.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that they're trying something different, because we've had a really consistent track record, and it's refreshing to see a brand new take on the series.
Yeah, and not only
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too. I was thinking that it's nice to see a new twist on something that's tried and true.
Yeah.
I think honestly this is a great surprise. It's interesting, it's fresh, it's a nice fresh coat of paint. Yeah, it seems like a very good idea.
And not only that, they also made it mesh with another genre that's extremely popular in Japan. So they know that Puyo Puyo is very popular in the region in the puzzle aspect. So not only are they going to garner that same crowd, they're also going to garner people that are like, oh, wait, they're making an RPG now? Alright, I'll give this a shot. So it's like a very smart strategy, not only for old school fans, but to garner new fans within the target audience.
Yeah, it's actually
Else?
really clever because, like, if you think about it, most Puyo games you can complete like 100% in like 5 hours, to be honest. But if it's an RPG, like you just have an endless amount of things to do and to grind for. So it's pretty fun for beginners too.
And being a fan of puzzle games and RPGs myself, this is awesome to me. I cannot wait to see this game.
What it feels like is they're trying to cater to the Puyo Quest audience while also trying to cater to the normal competitive scene. Do any of you guys get that impression?
Yeah, a little bit of a mix of the two. I get the impression that it's a mix between Puyo Box
Yes.
and Puyo Puyo Quest.
Has anyone here played Puyo Box?
Yeah. No, unfortunately I haven't.
No. Can't say I have.
Puyo Box's RPG mode has quite an interesting take on the whole item mode, where you can increase your nuisance count and your speeds, and you can modify the game according to different rule sets, according to what items you have. Very interesting take on it. We're bound to see something like that happen in Puyo Chronicle.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's also catering to the roots of Maru Monogatari as well.
Yeah, like the fact that, they're making a whole RPG, which is what the original Maru Monogatari games were all about, is just again another nice little subtle nod to the very long time fans back in the Compile days.
Anything else you guys want to add before we move on? Oh wait, there's like 17 different rules. What do you?
Let's
So,
begin.
all right, they were all right. So Momochi, our lovely Puyo translator, recently went through the Japanese announcement page, and what we got out of that was something that the other websites weren't picking up on, is that you can do the RPG battle online against other people. It's its own rule set. So It's basically like a refined version of Yan rules. Do you think that's got potential competitively at all?
Probably not. I mean, some of the skills are kind of weird. Like, they said Arl's skill was what, change a bunch of Puyo on your field to blue. I'm not exactly sure why you would need that. That doesn't seem as powerful as just chaining, but I guess that makes it easier for beginners.
It'd be like, I'm wondering though if they're gonna have like each player has a health bar, and then as you fight each other, instead of being killed by whoever reaches the top of the board, it's whoever runs out of HP first. So it might be a matter of not even chaining, but more of like rushing each other.
Huh.
That would be interesting, actually.
That could work.
Although, I think they were just going for cooperative play, weren't they? I think that seems more interesting for people.
Well, you have both, but cooperative, I guess, is offline only.
Oh, really? Well, we haven't heard enough, I guess.
No, we don't know for sure. But touching up on that new rule, I guess your spells are dictated by who you assign to your party. So like Arl has Heaven Ray. I don't know who else, what spells everyone else has, but so there's a bit of decision making when it comes to who you want to bring into a battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that Amity's probably gonna have what did she have in Fever? Her final spell that she doesn't even use anymore either, the equivalent to Heaven Ray. Very fair, there you go.
Oh, she uses that.
Does she
still
use
uses it, yeah.
Oh damn, I've been shut down like crazy.
In this game, she uses Ecrixis, which is like some explosion spell.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I thought that was like the Clipsis. Oops.
Oh yeah, that was in, what, Fever 1 and 2?
Hmm.
No, I think it was just Fever 2 and 15 anniversary.
Oh yeah, it was in 15th, that's right. Let me go back and play that.
I guess when it comes to the whole RPG rule and whatnot, again, it's more so the approach when it comes to garnering a new crowd and whatnot. So it's, again, as we mentioned before, it's like setting the foundation for those who would be newcomers to the Puyo series and whatnot when they play this game expecting an RPG to sort of get not only like their taste with the RPG aspect, but the groundworks with how Puyo works with this mode, and would potentially attract them to the more competitive scene and whatnot as well. So a very harmless mode, which I don't think really again, does much to the whole game itself, considering that it still has the other rule sets and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the RPG mode will really help ease in beginners, because like I've watched some really terrible people play when I bring like Puyo to conventions. Like beating one CPU opponent, like the easiest one, it takes them like 10 minutes. And I can see how like in an RPG game, that could wear people out really fast. So letting people level up their characters, I guess that's a goal you can work for, like towards. And it's pretty fun for people, and it also makes the game less, well, I guess, less skill based.
Yeah.
And not only that, you could also have the option to like not use those against those who want to use them. So it's like it still has that balance. Well, we hope that there would be a balance that would make it accessible for the newcomers, the casual people, and more so to have them not as scared to face against the more experienced people and whatnot with the standard rule sets. So it has that option there. I'm pretty sure you could like choose not to use the skills by not pressing the buttons and stuff like that, compared to those who have been introduced to this game or prefer it better to use those skills more and whatnot in the match.
Like a handicap.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
I'm kind of on the hinge with item-based battles, so with the consideration of either using or not using items, I think it would be a good choice against those that do against those who don't, really. It's useful, it's efficient for newcomers to have some sort of clutch. Might be interesting, especially if you're playing online and having a competitive battle. Who knows though?
When I think about like item-based combat, I'm gonna be the Dr. Mario guy again and bring up Miracle Cure.
Oh God, don't even.
Hey, no, I just want to say that like it it refined the like competitive scene of it, because like it made the items where it's like it would like come in periodically and whatnot, and it would just how can I say this, like the items don't really do much to like intrude into the different fields and whatnot. It's like perfectly balanced for those to like adjust to whatever power-ups like come into play. So like I used to be completely against like items being used in online and whatnot whenever I played like other games like Tetris, but when it came to playing Dr. Mario, it gave me high hopes for it, so I'm hoping the same will go with this game in the Puyo series.
Yeah, I have Miracle Cure, and I think Miracle Cure did a really good job with the items.
If I remember correctly, isn't how that game works? Like, you get a miracle cure as you clear
stuff,
viruses.
yes.
Like a bar fills up, and then you get the special.
And the items are always different too. So you could get like something that clears all the blue on the field, all the red,
all the excess capsules,
all the viruses of a certain color.
I guess it's a matter of how they approach it. If they make it really like gimmicky, like a party mode, then it's not gonna be too, I guess, ambitious, viable. But if they do it right, I feel like this could be a really interesting rule set to play with.
I mean, it looks like your items like don't fall into your field. Like that's the one thing that really pissed me off about party mode in like the Puyo 20th and Puyo Tetris, like how things will fall into your field and just like kill you. I like some Puyo.
Oh yeah,
They're supposed to help you, but they don't, right?
Oh,
yeah,
don't even.
I've died too many times from Sun Puyo.
I still need to do a 1cc.
You get punished for playing well. Like that's not okay.
I would also just like to stress that this is an RPG and also a 25th anniversary game. So you can play Sue, Fever, and whatever else, and you can also enjoy a single-player RPG. I don't feel like Sega's marketing it that properly right now.
Yeah, their approach is kind of not sticking to the RPG side, more as like a universal package, but it's not sticking to like, this is a single player game, this is a multiplayer game, this is online, this is offline. It's a bit vague right now. I think that's their intention, because they don't want to reveal too much, because they still want to reveal some things before the release date.
At the same time, though, considering the release window, they're already going to release this in December, which is
4 months away.
Yeah, and
yeah, so they're probably mostly done with the game, right?
It's probably finished. They're probably just doing voiceover, and that's bug fixes.
Yeah.
Polish.
And considering the crowd that they are trying to market as well, like, of course, with the whole RPG aspect, they're trying to get the JRPG people. Think about what other games are already coming out within that genre during that window. We have Final Fantasy 15. So, I mean, I feel like they need to get their information out right away, or else if they wait too long or ponder it in a marketing sense, then there is going to be like too little too late at that point. So either they do that, or I know this isn't going to sit well for all of us who want to play it sooner, like in order to see the franchise flourish more, they should probably like hold off on the release until say February, where the JRPGs are starting to like die down a bit for some of the consumers within that genre.
Although the game is already available for pre-order, and you get tons of stuff for pre-ordering, so I mean, maybe some people already bought it.
Yeah, but then the pre-orders...
And they lock themselves into it.
The pre-orders are only more so to attract those who are already fans of the series. And they don't really have that much to even compensate for those who aren't fans, like any figures or things like that. So I still sort of more so lean towards the fact that they should probably like time the release a bit better.
I quite agree with this. Especially towards the genre, because we already know that Pokemon is going to be released when November as well.
Oh yeah, that too.
You know what? All right, so this is all rumors still, but maybe this game isn't also, or right now they want to get it out for 3DS, And then probably when the NX details start leaking out, I have a feeling that this is going to be an NX title. And that's releasing in March or so, so that would fit into that timeline where RPGs aren't as popular. Or what you guys were saying.
Yeah. So maybe the timing is a bit awkward for Puyo Chronicle.
Yeah.
Would it be an NX title though? I mean, yeah, it's going on Nintendo first, so I guess that would more so lead to the evidence that the home console would be Nintendo related. But I mean, we've had like Puyo Tetris on 3DS and like PS4. So I mean, I don't think that would ever limit Sega at all for cross-platforming.
My main concern is that this game's using 2 screens, and if the NX rumors are to be believed, that system's also using 2-screen gameplay. At least at home. On the go, it wouldn't, so I guess maybe that would be an issue. It depends. We don't even know what the NX looks like, but that's my reasoning. Now, they could easily just do something like in Puyo Tetris, like you play Puyo Tetmix, or not Tetmix, what's the other one? Swap mode. If you play swap mode, they have both windows on the screen, and I feel like they could do something similar to that. It's just a matter of it being convenient.
Yeah, spacing would be a kind of an issue that they have to take care of there.
Wait, you know, if it's gonna come out for NX, isn't that actually really good for the series? Because then it becomes like a launch title.
Yes, that is very good. But that's Japan, of course. I don't think Puyo's gonna have a problem in Japan. Regardless.
Well,
But I mean, doesn't the Wii U kind of struggle in Japan too?
yeah, it certainly did.
Well, I guess that's a true point. Yeah, so, I don't know. If the NX is a flop, then yeah, I guess that would be a problem. But being one of the few games available at launch would be a good plus for the series. Because you only have so many options when you first buy the system. So there's a good chance that they'll buy into that. That is, if the NX is a thing. Or anything related to that.
It's a toaster in my kitchen. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Powered up by putting in 2 slices, gets more battery life by putting in rye bread.
Whoa. So what do you think of the art direction? This isn't technically the first Puyo game to use 3D models, because if you count Puyo Puyo 39 and Project Mirai, that would be the first. But do you like what they're doing?
They're so cute.
My first thought is that that because the models are so scalable, we might have the possibility of Daihenshin coming back.
Oh, you stole my point. I was talking about this
wow.
earlier, but I didn't think it was... Well, other people made me sound like I was an idiot, but my guess is... So, if you know anything about animation, model skeletons are fairly malleable. You can apply them to different models. Like, if you've ever seen a Smash Brothers video where they apply different animations to different models, yeah, it looks a little broken, but if all the models are the consistent size, like they are in this game, I don't see it being a big issue. So, in that regard, they can easily use the same animations on an adult and a child model for the Deca and Chibi modes respectively.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. There's that consideration that you can see that says, oh, okay, we can just scale it for larger models and make it smaller for smaller models. Rigging wouldn't be too much of a problem because they're
that's the term.
basically the same size and shape.
Yeah, and I don't see Sega being the one to go out of the way to do something unless it's convenient. So that's also why I'm partial to believe that they could bring this back for this game. Daihenshin isn't a popular mode. Not everyone likes it, but as something to play around with, I think it's harmless.
Yeah, it's a harmless addition. I mean, they gotta like stuff in as many modes as possible, and with the whole model talk and whatnot, I could definitely see that being a thing for sure.
S2, you want to talk about how much you love Daihenshin?
The Henshin was kind of terrible, but I think the 3D models are okay. I mean, they're on 3DS, so they look kind of like fuzzy.
Yeah.
But it still looks good.
I think the animation looks really nice. Like, I was worried.
Yeah, they actually animated it well. The way the characters move too.
Like, in Project Mirai, everything is kind of stiff. and not very expressive. It's cute, don't get me wrong, but I'm really impressed with what they are doing here with these new models.
The new models actually look a lot smoother, I'll admit that. Compared to Mirai Deluxe, we had a lot of change. It looks like there's a lot of changes between this game and Mirai Deluxe. I'm thinking that maybe Puyo Puyo 39 was a predecessor to this kind of art style. So maybe it counts, maybe it doesn't, but yeah, Mirai Deluxe feels a bit beta-y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like they were testing the waters too.
I think the 3D models are super cute, and I would like to see Daihenshin come back.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, what do you think of Carbuncle's model, though? Doesn't it look more dopey than usual? I kind of don't like it.
Yeah, his ears are a little weird,
He looks a bit fatter.
but he's cute. I like how he dances in the beginning, and then Arl's just clapping.
Yeah.
So stupid.
He's so large and squishy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess with the 3D models, yeah, again, you guys have hit the points there. They're very smooth, and I haven't played much of Mirai, but I'll take your guys' word for it that it wasn't as smooth as it could have been. So I'm glad that they were able to use that game as a means of sort of foundating how to approach this game. And the feel looks very nice and smooth too, and it works well with exactly the style that they're going for, with the chibi style and whatnot, which again, considering the medium, would be really popular to attract new crowds and whatnot within the JRPG genre.
Oh, hey, did you guys like how in that trailer, Arl ran right into the fire?
Yeah.
Like, wow, I didn't know fire was dangerous. It's a nice way to show off the new worlds.
Yeah.
Well, you can never be
you know,
too
I
sure.
don't. I
Speak.
Wait, go ahead, Ninja.
Speaking of the fields, doesn't it have that feeling of Yoshi's Woolly World?
Yeah, they got like.
Yeah, I did see that.
I
I
was
totally
thinking
see
more
that.
of what's the Kirby one? Kirby Epic Yarn. And that quote where they're like, "It feels like pants,"
Yeah, yeah.
but it looks nice.
It looks fitting for the title, and I'm looking at the background right now. It's got like stitchings and stitch marks and so forth, so maybe it fits the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, come to think of it, there's different field backgrounds for each different mode, so maybe the 3D models help with that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess in the RPG mode, there's just like a generic Puyo background. I don't know if any of you guys caught that.
But in the versus mode,
Yeah, they use the normal.
you can see.
They use the normal character fields.
Yeah. They look quite similar to the Puyo Puyo Tetris backgrounds as well, especially the Fever background.
Speaking of the overworld, it looks fairly generic. Like, it doesn't look like anything really exciting, but
Ice World, Fire World, Woods. Yeah.
yeah, it just makes me think of New Super Mario Brothers. But I'm more than happy.
It reminds me of like something like Dragon Quest. The style looks very familiar to Dragon Quest.
It makes me think of Paper Jam for some reason. The grassy area especially. It looks
Oh.
straight out of Paper Jam.
Maybe it's just the color choice. I don't know.
Yeah. It looks fine. It doesn't look ugly, but it doesn't look, really exciting or creative. It just looks pretty standard. But I'm hoping that there's other areas later on that look a bit more ambitious and intimidating, because the overworld map looks so cool. It looks like there's so much possibilities of where you can go.
How many different areas does it look like it has? 4?
I'm gonna guess 5.
5? Oh yeah, including the town, I guess.
But if there's a dungeon, like if it's Mado at all, there's probably dungeons as well.
Yeah, you can see the grassland, sand, forest, water, jungle, lava, whatever, all that stuff on the world map there. So there's, your usual generic environments to sort of go around. But it's their first, well, not really their first, but, it's their one major one for quite some time. So I guess I could kind of forgive them for this.
Although, The impression I get from all the generic stuff is that maybe that's exactly what Sega's going for. Just like the classic stuff to do. Like you know exactly what you're expecting.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that this isn't too complicated because us Puyo fans are gonna have to deal with the the language barrier. But from what I've seen, it seems relatively simple to understand. So this is probably a pretty easy game to pick up and play, even without the language issue. Or with.
Well, that makes me think of something. I'm kind of concerned about how like the subquests will be, because they said there's over 60 of them. The one they showed was like a collection quest, so that's super generic and pretty boring. And I don't actually see how that can be interesting with Puyo gameplay too. Like, you just like kill things with 8 chain like 20 times.
Oh, there's grinding with Puyo? That would be really weird. We already get enough of that with quests.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't really think about that. I didn't think there'd be grinding. I was kind of just thinking it'd be like everything would be on the overworld, and then like fights, like enemy encounters and boss battles were strictly the Puyo gameplay. But I guess yeah, if things have random drops, I guess there would be some grinding.
From what I can tell, there might be an item like equip system, so maybe running around searching for items may help. We've also got the ability system, which looks like there might be a little bit of grinding, especially with the MP and HP counts.
Yeah, we definitely know there's a level up system.
But how it's incorporated, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
What confuses me is like the damage system, because I think in one of the clips you see Draco attacking you, but then you get nuisance on your field instead of your HP dropping. So what does your HP drop when you die? Kind of confusing.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Maybe it's like whenever you lose a match or something, it's like permanent damage and then you get to try again or something.
Maybe it's just like an attack, like not like one that. Well, I don't know, because
2 separate attacks, like an HP attack and then like a field attack. Is that what you're saying?
No, because now I think about it, why would they let you lose, or why would they take away your HP? That would just be punishing you from not playing the game. Like if you're playing poorly, that's how you should be punished in Puyo, not just because you got attacked. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Seems kind of. I'm not sure how they're going to balance it.
Yeah.
Because it does take you a while to die.
Do we have HP bars? I don't remember seeing them.
Oh, there's an HP bar in the top left corner.
Yeah, there certainly are HP bars.
It's not really clear how that gets decreased.
What's interesting is that we have abilities that do nuisance addition in Puyo Puyo Quest, where like certain number of Puyo gets transformed into nuisance. So maybe it's a combination of that and a standard attack, like say now X HP is removed after a certain ability or a certain amount of Puyo get dropped.
Yeah, my concern, like I was trying to say earlier though, would be like, what if you're playing really well, but the enemy is just gonna kill you anyways because you have a HP bar? Like, you could be... I don't know, I'm just concerned that it'll affect your performance, I guess.
Well, hopefully that's not how it works, but there's items.
Yeah.
So maybe it balances out.
Yeah, and also looking at the screens too, like it only highlights like a certain partition of the HP bar. Again, more so feels like towards what I was saying earlier, that I feel as though if you fail the mission or something, you may just lose HP from there. And you lose that partition if you fail the mission or something.
Or maybe it's an energy system like Puyo Quest. You only play like 5 times a day.
Oh my god,
No.
don't even
No!
start that, dude.
No!
Yeah.
No!
That's ridiculous.
Oh.
You can play more if you pay $2. Totally fair.
Buy stones.
No.
All things considered,
No.
we do have a like a enemy weakness system
Wait,
Oh, you
in
think they
this
might
game
borrow
or
Puyo Quest?
in in this game.
Oh yeah,
Because
because their life bars are represented by Puyo colors.
Yep.
So they probably use the same triangle they use in Puyo Quest. So
Most
like,
likely.
They might
But-
add some more too. Who knows? It's an RPG. They usually have a bunch of different elements you can use.
could this be the game that brings back the lost sixth color?
The teal,
Teal
Puyo.
The teal. Yes,
The
yes,
Puyo.
the teal Puyo. That'd be the best. That'd be the best callback ever.
Huh, I didn't even think about that. That's really cool.
But you know, maybe they won't. Maybe it gets too complicated. Have you ever played like Persona 2, or like I don't know any of those games? Do they have like freaking like 16 different elements? It's like
It sounds like Pokemon.
oh, it's Pokemon.
Well, I mean, considering the whole weakness system, then I'm trying to think like exactly how it would be implemented. I guess like if you end the chain on like a specific color, then it'll cause more damage to occur, possibly. But I'm just
I
thinking,
mean, that's kind of how Puyo Quest works.
yeah, I'm just kind of thinking more so like how much of an advantage would that give you more so? Because like I know it's going well with like the RPG mechanics and whatnot. Yeah, weaknesses are probably going to be important, but I really hope that it won't be too much of a detriment for it to be.
I'm thinking it might be based on how many Puyo of a specific color you actually clear
Like Puyo Quest.
while you're playing. Yeah.
The thing is that worries about me though is that like you can't really in normal Puyo you can't really intentionally clear a lot of one color. You know, you kind of just make whatever you can from the pieces that are given to you.
Yeah, that
You
is
don't just
true.
have like a lot already in front of you immediately
That is
given.
indeed true.
That is true.
I'm also noticing something with the screens, especially the one where they show the ability, where it's describing Heaven Ray and MP30. Does that mean that you have to recharge it using blue Puyo, or is that a blue specific color attack?
I'm thinking maybe it just recharges over time. Because that's how like enemy attacks work too, that they just attack you after a set time. That's what Momochi's translation gave. I mean, that would be the most reasonable because like popping blue Puyo to use a skill that gives you more blue Puyo.
Yeah.
At least that doesn't really make sense.
Well, it could still refill over time, but if you're trying to clear a specific, if you do clear that specific color, it would fill up a little faster.
Yeah, I could probably see that being the case, hopefully, because trying to intentionally fill it up yourself during gameplay would prove to be more so just being bound to the RNG and whatnot, so.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm just afraid of is that like most of the skills will just be for people who actually know how to play. Most of the skills might end up being pretty useless. Kind of like Yawn, like half the skills they just destroy your board more than it actually helps you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only really good one is like the one that clears all the nuisance on your board. I love that one.
Now I'm trying to think, like, what if they bring back the whole, like, carbuncle skill from the very first one when you're playing exercise, where it just comes in and makes, like, a bunch of Puyos the same color or something.
Oh my god, I remember that.
That'd be great.
I remember
That
how
annoys
much
me.
Yeah, that annoyed me too when I was trying to play
I
that
didn't
single
like
player.
Carbuncle. Like, I don't want you. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
exactly. You're ruining my builds.
Trying to build a chain. Get out of here.
At least it's not going to be like a giant Puyo just smashing down again.
Oh, that's even worse. I hated that one too. But
That thing. Oh my god. That thing irritates me so much.
I love how like
Wait, what game are we talking about?
the very first one.
What?
In an exercise mode in Puyo Puyo, if your board gets filled up to the top, you'll get one of two things to help you out: carbuncle or a giant Puyo.
Oh,
Giant Puyo just smashes through all the Puyo underneath it and erases them.
wow, that's really interesting. It never actually bothered you with the exercise mode in the first game.
Well, you liar! You
No, I'm
played Mean Bean Machine.
no, I'm freaking serious. I
Wait.
just did the story mode. I didn't even bother with exercise. I'm sorry. I guess I'm a fraud.
Oh, me and my friend used to do that all the time.
I did the exercise when I first played. My introduction to Puyo was Kirby's Avalanche. So I did the practice mode in that and kept getting the big Puyo, and it Drove me
I used to
crazy.
enjoy
Yeah.
it until now that I just want a chain.
I think it was the only time that I hated Kirby.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of our new character?
Ali?
Ari? Ali,
How do we
Ari.
pronounce this?
Ali?
Ari?
Let's just
Ari?
say Ali because it's easier on English speakers. Like for
I'm
now.
gonna call her Allie.
Like Ari,
Ali.
like that's kind of awkward to say.
Oh gosh.
Ally.
Ali.
Oh gosh, I just realized the pun in that.
Ally?
That's,
No.
that's terrible.
Do you think she's cute? YM.
Why?
Not quite.
Kind of generic looking,
Yeah.
but she might be a useful green card in Puyo Quest, so I'm not complaining.
Now here's my question. Since they're introducing a new character that starts with A, are they going to introduce 2 more characters for R and S?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's very likely.
Also, interestingly enough, if they do have Ellie in Puyo Chronicle, you think they might bring her into, say, Puyo Quest?
I feel like they should. I think that'd be a good promotion for the game, is to include her as a character in Puyo Quest.
They
Yeah.
did that kind of cross promotion with Puyo Puyo Tetris as a pre-order bonus for Oral and
oh yeah.
Ringo.
Just
It's too bad they were terrible cards, though. To be honest.
I believe Oral's is a recovery card.
Yeah, I think they're both recovery.
They're both the same, I think.
The only use I can think for the Puyo type versions of Arl and Ringo was like on a Christmas Warlock team where like you have 1 recovery. I think their skill is just based on your max HP. That totally ignores it.
Yeah, their skill, I think, recovers like 75% of your max health.
What do you guys think of our trademark phrase? Let's get intimate. Let's get intimate.
yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, I kind of want to ask Momochi to see if that's really what she's saying. It's like kind of extreme. And
I think her and Risa Kumar are going to be friends.
I was gonna say more so Sheizo actually. But... I want you to get intimate. What?
Momochi wants to go a step beyond.
like, is that what she's really saying? Are we sure she's not just saying, "Oh, hey, let's be friends"? You know? I think we need to double check that.
Considering the pun that's been noticed here with the ally thing, maybe it is let's be friends, but like let's be close friends or something like that. Maybe.
Oh, I get you.
Good
So it's like
idea. I don't
ally.
know.
Like we're on your team. I feel like she's gonna be the main villain. I don't know. You guys get that impression? Like she's like, oh, people randomly fell into my world. Finally, this is my chance.
In this world, it's kill or be killed.
Yeah.
I regret nothing. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Not sorry. Not
But
sorry.
wait, did you see how like all the people in town are
At least
furries
not
though?
sorry
Maybe
at
she's like
all.
the only human.
Yeah,
Hell
so I
no.
guess the plot so far is just like a book falls out of nowhere and people are getting sucked into it. And then Satan's there.
I'm totally blaming Klug for this.
Maybe Satan is trying to use this as a method to get to Arl.
He almost called her Arlie.
Oops, I did
I
actually.
heard that. I'm
I'm
like,
ashamed.
no. I'm ashamed
I'm
of you,
used to
dude.
fevered pronunciations.
Oh god.
Fever localization. uh,
Maybe he's an illusion made by the book.
That could be possible. Like it's
yeah.
picking from her memories.
Although, okay, according to Momoshi's translation, like Satan actually talks to her normally at the very beginning. You know, not like something creepo.
Maybe
That book hit her in the head, and now she's dreaming everything.
that'd be the worst, but
Maybe Arl's actually in a coma and it's all a dream.
Oh god.
maybe Ari is like the personification of a Puyo fan that's 25 years old.
She wants to go on adventures, but she's really a failure, so she falls into a coma.
And then that's why her trademark phrase is getting intimate
Oh.
because if we think about the okay, I'm stopping right there.
Japan, ladies and gentlemen.
Given what we've known so far, though, I feel like we're getting a lot of content out of this. Like, we have our anniversary side, we have our RPG side, got all these submissions. Who knows how many characters are even in this game? But I just feel like there's a lot of effort going into this anniversary title. It just feels ambitious. It feels fresh.
Like a fresh breath of air.
Definitely.
I was just more so saying that I really hope that they don't really laze around with the models and whatnot, because I know that models take a bit more work, I guess, for the textures from the ground up.
I don't know.
Unless...
Like, all the models use the same base. Like, if they're... The only difference is really the hair and the clothes. So I feel like the modeling issue isn't that big of an issue.
Yeah, no, I understand the whole base thing. I'm just used to being more pessimistic with just getting my hopes up with regards to characters in general, because, I don't know, I understand the ambition, but at the same time, that could also turn itself upside down if you look at the other side of things.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Knowing what we know with the Mirai 3D models, maybe Sega have learned from the previous model sets and said, okay, we need to modify this for better performance, or we need to change this for this skin or this model and so forth. So maybe it's a matter of thinking, oh, okay, let's just go on with choosing which are right and which are not. I think it's like throwing paint on a wall and seeing what it sticks. But at the same time, I think it's actually a fresh breath of air for the series. The 2D modeling system has gotten so detailed right now, it's actually hard to tell which ones are bad and which ones are good. As evidenced in Puyo Quest, there's just so many cute characters.
Oh yeah. Well, I just feel like, I mean, as an artist, I feel like it takes a lot more effort to draw individual poses than it would take to make a model and then just animate from that, because you have infinite what's it called? Points of reference, I guess.
Reference points, yeah.
Like, once you do the model, that's it. You're done. You don't have to draw another one. You can just modify that and put it in different poses.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this should be saving time, but I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, think about it a different way though. Like, even so, I feel like Sega has enough money for Puyo to just like do a lot of whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's like Puyo Quest makes $5 million a month, so you know, I think they can afford to just have some high quality animations for every single model.
And they look really good. I want to stress that they look
Yes.
really good. Like, the animation makes the models right now.
Like, I was kind of like scared when I was looking at those screenshots to see like, oh no, they're gonna be stiff. But once I watched the trailer and then like checking their battle animations, like, okay, worries are gone.
Sold. I guess while we're still briefly on the topic of characters, who would you like to see in this game?
Klug!
I mean, okay, he's probably
share
in.
bones?
So like,
Wait.
my theory is that
Yeah, Klug is a shoo-in.
Yeah, pretty sure.
no, my theory is that like all the Puyo characters you see in like Puyo Tetris, they're clearly the ones who rank the highest in the popularity polls, and they've been in like in every game since like. Okay, not in every game, but like they seem like the core group, you know. So you can definitely expect them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want my flamboyant skeleton back.
I just have a hope.
I think it would be cool for them to implement, like, some of the, maybe, I don't know if they'd be able to do this or not, like the Tetris characters, or some of the Quest characters.
I would be happy as long as we get, like, a nod to Puyo Tetris characters. Just like a little reference.
Like, even if they're just an NPC or something.
Yes! I just love X so much.
What I'm interested to see is, if they do incorporate something from Puyo Puyo Quest, they need to make like the backstory incorporated into Puyo Puyo Quest and Chronicle, so that people can join the lines and say, oh, okay, this character character does this in Quest, so this character does this in Chronicle.
Okay.
Maybe some sort of cross lore. But personally for myself, I'd like to see the core characters come back, the main recurring characters, as well as Lich.
Duh.
That's kind of like the go for me.
I think Witch is a shoe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Witch will be in, so you should be fine there on that, Ninja.
I hope that they potentially bring back some old Mado era characters like Siriri or Harpy, because they're very popular in Puyo Quest, and I feel like they deserve the time to shine in this game.
Thinking about the models now, though, what you brought up before with the whole base and texture thing, right? What does that have to do with the whole non-human characters then?
If we're talking non-human
Yeah,
characters,
that's probably the more trickier
my
one.
favorite
Yeah.
non-human character in 15th at least was Zodaimo. I loved
Yo.
his battle theme.
Oh,
You better come back and just like shake the screen. I'll buy the game just for that.
Yeah.
like I feel like it's even possible that these characters could just come back as bosses or enemies. Like they don't have. I mean, it would suck if they're not playable, but at least they're there.
What would be interesting
Right.
is maybe, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but maybe they can have a rally mode a la Box.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So you'd like progress level after level, busy combating everyone from the past 25 years. Say,
Oh.
okay, like one from
So
bigger,
ambitious.
No. Oh.
one from this game, one from this game, one from this game. So kind of like All-Star mode in Smash 4.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they
Something
did in
like
Puyo
that.
Box.
Oh, jeez.
And this game seems to be taking ties from Puyo Box.
Can you imagine how long that relay mode would be, though? That'd be like 100, at least 100 opponents or something.
The real endurance match. This
Yeah.
is where the real
The
Puyo
true
players start
arena.
to shine.
Oh, the true arena! Hey, what's up?
What happens if it's like Puyo Quest though, where all the enemies have like bajillions of HP? That's gonna suck so hard. Like, even if you're good at Puyo, you'll be forced to grind. I'm kind of scared. I don't
I
want to
think
do
you'll
that.
be fine, S2. You can make a 13 chain. Oh, sorry.
What?
You can make a 15 chain. You can make a 19
What?
chain.
No,
but
I'm not that good.
That's not going to realistically happen in a match.
I can only do like a
It's
10
really
chain
shit.
consistently. What are you talking about?
Yeah, me too. Yep. Anyways, moving on. Richard, you brought up a good point. Yeah,
I can make a one chain consistently, Gobi.
no, you can build pretty good Zelos.
Eh.
But yeah, I guess the non-human characters, that would be a little trickier modeling wise. Like Risukuma has, he's kind of on a human body, but like would be trickier. I guess characters like Baldanders, but I doubt they'll be.
Suka Todara.
Suket
Duel
is a
is
shoe
dancing in 3D.
Oh,
Yeah, but then they
Dancing all night.
have to make a specific model just for him. So
Yeah.
Okay, apparently like he's the Puyo producers. No, he's like basically one of the mascots now because the Puyo producer is like he's his favorite
yeah,
character.
he's definitely a shoe-in.
Also Yamada Mizu. Like he has like a Suka Todara costume
Oh,
too.
damn.
Well, whenever there's like an event and Puyo is being represented, they always have Carbuncle and Suketadara. So
Yeah, Skedadar and Carbuncle.
those are
Okay,
shoe-ins.
then
I feel that Takatadara is kind of like the secondary mascot,
Yes.
like the adopted mascot from Sega years onwards, whereas Carbuncle is the compile, the original mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get what you're trying to say. Well, I mean, they're both old characters.
Yeah,
They both been around.
Because-
Wasn't Skedadara in the first game?
yeah, he was in the first game.
So yeah, he's
Yeah.
been around forever.
He's OG.
He is OG.
he's OG.
He's an old ass fish.
Yeah. He's OPP.
He's a fish with legs.
Yeah.
We should make him a selling point in the future tweets. I hope he gets his model revealed soon.
That'd be great.
Yo, we can send a link to like Giant Bomb or whatever and have them promote it for us. Oh,
They love him.
yeah, they do. Wow, we can make so much we can get so much like exposure. Yeah.
They should bring back the dancing spin-off.
Okay.
Yeah, with the controller only.
Oh, I guess that would be the
That's the
first foray
17th
to
mode.
3D models.
Yeah, that would be the first one that used 3D models, I guess.
Yeah. And they were ugly.
Yeah, they really were.
Okay, so let's get the elephant out of the room here.
Bizo.
Do you think this will be the first Puyo game Sega will localize since Fever?
It's possible.
I honestly hope so.
Oh, I hope so too.
Yeah, like same.
Despite the fact that Fever bombed horribly over here, I think this is like a fresh new perspective for us. Because we haven't seen a Puyo game over here since Fever.
No.
Well, I mean, technically Sue, but
It would.
No, we mean I said localized.
Yeah, well-
Remember, I did say localized.
Localized. It would mean it would be a new leaf to turn over with Sega. They'd have a new page to start their franchise, especially with the RPG roots.
Yeah, I think a lot of people over here enjoy RPGs.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Yeah.
popular genre, and it's growing.
I may not be an RPG fan, but I'm willing to take the step for that. And looking at the movement that we have, we're doing well as a first step.
Yeah.
But we need to be consistent and aggressive towards Sega to have them continuously notice us.
notice a senpai.
Notice this, senpai.
Poor Sam Mullen, he died today.
And that was
Rest
pretty
in
funny.
Puyo
yeah.
tweets.
I'll put a picture of that up.
Oh yeah, I saw
But
that.
you know, I think
pretty good.
leading up to that tweet though, there wasn't like, okay, I was stalking Twitter the entire time, and leading up to his tweet, there wasn't actually a whole lot of like, on Sam Mullen's tag.
Yeah.
Maybe they orchestrated the entire thing.
Could be
Maybe.
Well, no, it's just more so the fact that they're just stressing the fact that he woke up to the tweets more so than the amount of the tweets.
Oh, but that happened like
overall.
the day before.
Yeah, he did say something like "good more," and then it said "ducks under the Puyo tweets."
Yeah.
Barely.
I saw that.
That
I
was
was like,
2
holy
days ago. That was barely 2 days ago. So I think between that span, they've been like silently watching our threads, saying, "Oh, okay, they're looking forward to this and they want it like real bad." But the reason why I'm saying that it needs to be consistent and aggressive is because while the movement has started and while the movement is having quite good traction, a lot of the times in the movements that I've been in previously, like say for example the Make Tales Playable Again campaign back in 2011, that was actually part of the result of Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that.
like say now, also the Shenmue 3 campaign, that is just so good. It's consistent. It's telling the fans you can't run away from it. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's probably our end goal, to make the game well known, to say, okay, we need to market this game out because Sega didn't bother in Fever. So let's just spread the word of mouth out.
Yeah, so like, I mean, that's the cool thing that we're creating buzz currently with that hashtag and the splendid Puyo Nexus tweet that we got spreading about as well. My only, because like when you guys were mentioning before about the JRPG aspects of it attracting a new crowd, the unfortunate thing is that the keyword is the J in that RPG. Unfortunately, that is not as much of an appealing genre here localization wise. So like my only fears that come with that, like I feel as though the amount of people that they would get from the JRPG side of things in the West, it may not amount too much to the sales that they would be expecting, because as always with every localization there are a ton of costs that come into it, and sales is the one thing that they're looking into, because the video game side of things is an industry still. They have to benefit off of it financially. So I feel as though like the part of me that really wants it to come out is just the fan side of me that wants it to come out localized, but financially speaking, I feel like even if we push it, like I feel as though I'm a little bit concerned how it would do numbers wise, and it may be like the last Fever localization we'll see until like say 10 or 15 years from now.
Yeah, I agree. Like I see we all know the value of Puyo, like what it can be, but like at the beginning, it's still going to be like super niche.
Yeah.
So we really actually have to work super hard to spread the word about it and actually get people to play it. Start like local season stuff for the game.
As long as they don't market it as a JRPG and just like a puzzle RPG,
Well,
it might.
But puzzle is such a bad buzzword
It
now.
might be better that way.
People are just going to immediately think of like Candy Crush or something, and that's going to suck.
Oh, that's good.
actually, now that I think about it, if they do go with the puzzle RPG approach, I mean, Puzzle Dragon still does well. Even though that has
That game's very Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess like when I was thinking more so like the JRPG approach, I'm more so thinking like a lot of people who play RPGs are more so on the Western side because haha, we're in the West. But now that I'm thinking about Puzzle Dragons as a reference point, maybe it may not be so bad as I originally thought. That's a good point, actually.
And when I hear JRPG, I think of like Final Fantasy, which is turn-based, so...
We can also, like, don't forget about 7th Dragon the Third. Is it 7th Dragon the Third or 7th Dragon 3? Whatever it is. That was an extremely niche game, and it came out of nowhere from Atlas USA.
Yeah. And I feel like Puyo would have more potential than that.
Yeah, because like we could actually have a competitive scene that extends the life of the game, you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And you'd be sure as hell that we would promote the heck out of that.
And I would also hope that we have a console version, aka an NX version, so that way we could promote it even further.
But you know, I feel like the way Chronicles is laid out, it could work on like just like a PS4 too. They just have to rearrange it quite a bit, but it's still, I think they can manage it.
Use the touchpad instead?
Wait, why do they need to touch though?
No.
It seems like you target with the Y button, right? From the scans, and you activate a skill with X.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you only need two rotate
Yeah, you're
buttons.
right. Yeah, you press L and R to switch between characters for what
Yeah,
skill
so
you
that could work.
Yeah, they would just have to make a dedicated like interface on the screen, like in the corner or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out Nintendo only or like they assume Nintendo only right now.
Puyo has never been exclusive to one console. It's always been multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like I could definitely see it going on the PS4 then in that case. It's just I remember
Like-
the previous discussion where we were just all talking about NX and whatnot.
No, it's totally valid. When this was first announced, I thought the gameplay was going to be like identical 1-to-1 to Puyo Quest. So my main concern was like, well, they're going to be using the touchscreen to erase Puyo, but now it just looks like you control using a directional pad. Like there's not really any touch interface or touchscreen usage in this game.
Yeah, and again, very much welcome, because if they made it like another Puyo Quest, I'd be like, why would you do that, Sega?
It's Puzzles and Dragon Z.
look at all the money we're making.
Said example has actually happened on the 3DS. Super Mario Puzzle and Dragons.
Oh, the
I
Puzzles
believe?
and Dragons Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
But-
meant by Z. Because they're packed in together.
You know, I've never actually played Puzzles and Dragons or the RPG version, so how does that work?
It's pretty good. It's like a Bejeweled-ish sort of thing.
I actually have never played it.
So, is it like luck based when it comes to combos though? Because that just like makes me the most sad about those
kind of
games in
is.
Puyo Quest.
Yeah,
It can be
I-
luck-based sometimes, but you can also move your pieces freely for a set amount of time. So you can try to set up a combo that way.
Yeah,
You just
depending
gotta-
on
Oh,
power
so that's
ups.
not too bad.
So you just gotta know what to move where and
How?
exactly.
It's like any other puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
Touching back on localization, though, I do feel like now is our most likely, or I feel like now is when we're the most likely to get a Puyo game localized in America, given the stature of Sega's acquisition of Atlas, and also the fact that they're taking risks with like Seventh Dragon.
I mean, they actually PR'd that pretty hard though, you know? Like on Twitter, they kept talking about like the DLC and stuff, and making sure everyone got it.
And I feel like Hatsune Miku, while probably really crazy popular in Japan, isn't that big here, and they still bring those titles over too.
Actually, aren't they pretty big though? Because they have Hatsune Miku concerts in like California, at least I know.
Maybe. I
Rip
mean, that's where all the
Tracker.
hardcore people go.
I'm not a big fan of the vocal
Yeah, it certainly
waves
grew.
in general, so
Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I
what-
mean, just like rhythm games in general though. I think a lot of people like that in America actually. Or
Yeah.
at least the niche is pretty big.
Yeah.
Big enough to justify bringing them over.
Then again, we have a bit of a problem when it comes to Europe. I mean, look at Tracker, for example. Tracker complains a lot about like the whole Vocaloid situation in Europe. And as a European region person, I feel like my hands are kind of tied when it comes to game releases and so forth. I mean, we had the Take My Money initiative for social media change for SEGA of Europe, and we only got results like 3 months later. So yeah, it's kind of like a rock in a hard place. Eventually, you kind of give up until they like announce, well, hey, we've got this new game for you. And like Sega 3D Classics released in April, I believe, and it was 4 months that we had to
Yeah.
wait, and we're waiting another 3 months to get that game again. So
Yeah, that's pretty bad for you guys.
See, that's like the one thing I think Sega could like improve on. It's like actually explaining why it takes them so long to like be able to officially announce localizations. Wait, what exactly do they need to change with the game to localize it to Europe?
There is a lot to a localization than meets the eye. I mean, you know, there may be some text that may be hard coded, so the entire file may have to be changed. There may be some licensing rights that may need to go through for some bits and pieces there, depending on how it's been acquired and whatnot. So it's more to it than meets the eye.
not only that, but if you consider Europe itself, Europe has, I think, 5 or 6 other languages that it localizes to before sending out its initial release. So yeah, it's kind of difficult for Europe itself, especially with the German region, where the German region has a hefty
Oh yeah, they're crazy, aren't they?
reviewing process. Yeah. Europe, the UK, Germany, and South Africa especially have their own reviewing systems. So doing that kind of delays things a lot more. But it still deserves a little bit more reasoning for the fans who are anxiously waiting for announcements from either the European distribution market or, say now, the North American distribution market. Something worth noting is that I think it was Shin Megami Tensei 4. It took 2 years before it was released here, and now it's just flowing freely. So maybe there's a lot of design factors that need to be considered in Europe before it gets released.
That's kind of crappy, actually, because, I mean, this is going to be a fairly heavy text-based game, because it is an RPG.
Mm.
Do you think... Alright, so in the hypothetical reality that we have, Puyo Chronicles were released in America, do you think that would increase the odds of it being released in Europe?
Yeah,
I think so,
probably like
yeah.
maybe 5
Most
6 months
likely,
after.
yes. But it will take a long time.
I like Puyo.
So do I.
I mean, just doing the fan. Wow, guys.
Me too. Whoa.
I mean, just when we did the fan translations on Puyo Nexus, I think there were some issues with like translating the game over. Like, you know, like how the game over letters like flow to your screen
Yeah.
from the edges, right? Well, like I think each letter was like an individual like image file or whatever. So like your word for game over is a different amount of letters.
Oh,
than
yeah.
what it is in Japanese. You have to find some way to make that look like not terrible. So there's like either you like, I think game over in Japanese, like in katakana, is actually the same amount of letters as game over, right? Is it? I have no idea. I think so. So that actually,
Not too sure.
I think it is. So that actually works out okay.
I
But
feel like it...
yeah, I can see how like if you have to localize it to some other country where like game over is like 2
I
letters.
feel like it has to be a lot easier to localize a game now than it was back then, too. Yeah.
The tools are more widely accessible.
In the event that we don't get an English release, I feel like we'll end up translating it eventually. Especially if it's a very popular title. And we do actually have the tools right now to do that on 3DS
Yeah,
games.
yeah. Like if Sega doesn't want to localize it, then we'll get to it because that's how much we want it.
Damn right.
I mean, the only thing that will make me sad though is that like even if we localize it and everything like ourselves, the thing is like the one thing we can't fix like until like without a lot of effort is making local play work. Yeah, so if you try to play local play on Puyo 20th and Puyo Tetris, it actually just like automatically errors because you're not on the Japanese 3DS.
Yep. And it does that for download play too.
So I can see, yeah. So like I can see how that would really suck. Like you want to bring it to like a convention or something and play with other people, like you just can't.
Are translation patches legal? Like, if you own the cartridge, is it legal to apply a patch?
If you own the cartridge, if
Yeah,
you own the
it's completely
cartridge,
legal.
you have to back up the cartridge, and then you could patch it thereafter. So through those means, it would be considered legal, yes.
Sega, it would just be more convenient for us if you gave us an English release, so we don't have to hack 3DSs and also, go through all the hoops and loops.
Oh dear.
Keeping it legal.
Talking about the 3DS homebrew system is just, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's a very long process. It takes you like 2 hours.
Yeah. It's like baking something.
It's cumbersome. Like, especially if you're busy doing like a full-on soft mod. Full-on soft mod takes at least 7 hours. So
Wow, you must have like a really slow SD card.
difficult. It's counterintuitive, and well, a lot of people won't go for that. If they're going the direct homebrew route, it takes half an hour at the most. And while I do approve of homebrew, it's got a very grey line. So, rather wanting a local release because one, it would be easier to read up on and learn a lot more about the series.
Yeah.
And two, I don't have to go through all the jump skips and hoops that homebrew or any further soft modding requires me to do.
It would be really, really cool to have a consistent point of reference for all English Puyo information. Like consistent names, consistent character descriptions, something that we all understand and can go by and not be butting heads because we don't know what this means for sure because we're not Japanese native.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have it all consistent if we were to get this localized first and proceed from there. So, I mean, once it gets localized, our jobs is to buy it as soon as possible because that's what they're looking for the most.
Oh god.
Yeah, they're looking for those launch sales, and if you are one of those people who are pushing for the Puyo Chronicles for the West hashtag, you gotta make sure to buy it upon release. Don't wait for it for a price drop or anything like that, because that is like a sign that, you know, it's not going to be doing well overall.
Although, why would you wait though? We'll all be playing without you, so we'll all laugh.
You'll be shut within the Discord community.
Yeah.
We'll have a. Oh dear. Well, we'll have specific titles.
It's kind of like how you started playing Puyo Quest because everyone else was.
Assimilation. But yeah, like
Peer pressure.
It's peer pressure. Peer
yeah,
pressure.
that too. But ultimately, yeah, if you're pushing for that, make sure to buy it right away, because if it does get localized, you gotta show them the numbers, and that's what they want most, or else it's gonna be a self-fulfilling prophecy then.
Yeah. It is also
Although,
Put your money in your mouth. So
if it does get localized, most likely it'll come with all the anniversary stuff too, right? The anniversary box. I don't know about the drama CD because they have to translate that. I don't know how, but there's some nice stuff coming with it. So
yeah.
that's pre-order bonus.
I guess we could touch up on this. So in the event that it gets localized, would you want them to do a voiceover, or would you rather them leave it completely text-based? And I mean,
I would rather the
translation.
text translation personally, because it would be asking way too much out of them from a localization. Baby steps, right?
Yeah. I'd rather just have a text translation.
Yeah.
I'd be okay if it was just a digital release too. Like,
Anything.
put it somewhere. I'll buy it. I don't care. We're desperate.
I think if we're considering like full-on localization, voice translation should actually be a lower priority than a full-on text translation. So if they really do want to do the voice translation, they're more than welcome to, but it's going to be a risk. They need to make sure that the resources are more available, and voice translation itself, the voice, what is the word? The
Direction, hiring process.
no.
Are you talking about dubbing, right?
Yeah, the dubbing process. It takes a long time as well, so
Yeah.
it will
Yeah.
extend to the waiting time of that period as well. So it's a bit of a risk.
Yeah, and to be honest, just the dub itself is a risk too, right? Because I guess the hardcore Puyo fans are already traumatized by Puyo Fever, you know? So.
I like those voices personally.
Some of them are okay.
I like one of the one characters, not the rest.
Like some of them are okay. For Fever,
Yeah.
but
Oh, share. Like,
others.
on point.
Klug wasn't that bad either.
I
But like,
Yeah.
who was it?
I mean, the
Arl?
words he was saying was cool, but it was still kind of annoying.
Which fits his character.
it-
Mission accomplished.
the English voiceover for Klug made me think he was a girl the whole time, and then when everyone was like, "Oh, it's a boy," I was like, "What? He has girly eyelashes."
Japanese.
I love Klug. Don't get me wrong.
Japanese design.
I mean, are they even human though? All the characters in Fever 1, like, they have like fucking twig bodies.
Yeah,
And, like,
Except
square
Taro.
fingers.
Except Tartar.
his voice is feminine too. I do also feel like we live in a day and age where it's completely respectable to leave something Japanese. Like, we're not as traumatized as we used to be.
No.
Or, actually, I would say we weren't traumatized at all, but marketing thought we would.
Give us the option for subtitles. Like, really?
Yeah. I mean, also we have to keep in mind the whole costs that come into it as well. They need to get like a voice director. Whether they should get union or non-union. It's just
Holy crap.
yeah. It's just. It would
Also,
take
there's
more
like
time.
50 characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They either do that or they hire their in office like interns or something like that, like the Phoenix Wright series back in the day. Never forget Edgeworth's objection.
Yeah.
How does it go? Can you say it?
I can't even pull off the accent, let alone actually saying it loudly right now.
Darn.
Well, all right. Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
Overall, very, very excited for this. I mean, localization or not, I know that I will be giving this a shot because it's taking a risk that I feel that the series should be taking. So, yeah, high hopes for this one, and I'm really hoping to see some more information.
I'm super hyped.
Yeah, I'm hyped, but I'm cautiously optimistic for it, and I'm always going to be available to be pushing the hashtag forward and going through social media and pushing it forward, because I really want this game to come out. If it comes out west, if it comes out to Europe, if it comes out to the US, I want it. And
Oh yeah.
it would be better to have it in English than Japanese. And even if it's not in English, then I will try and find my way to play the game, give or take. But it won't be a first day release for me if it's a Japanese game. If it becomes localized, it will be a day one for me.
Oh, definitely.
I'll sleep outside the game store. They'll know me as the Puyo guy.
Whether it's like localized or not.
The only thing I really I'm super concerned about is just the net play, I guess, because on 20th and Puyo Tetris 3DS, it's actually always a tiny bit laggy with like the inputs, and that could kind of suck. And I think the net play is just bad just by virtue of it being on 3DS. So I'm just hoping like they figure something out.
I would say it was better on 20th than it was on Puyo Puyo Tetris. I think Tetris was just poorly optimized for 3DS in general.
Yeah, Puyo Tetris on like the non-PS4 and Xbox One versions, it's like always input laggy. It's pretty terrible. I don't know how anyone played, but they did some real magic with PS4 version. That's actually pretty incredible.
Love that version.
It's seamless.
Hopefully they do the same thing for 3DS.
I mean, it's not new 3DS exclusive, but if it were, I feel like that would fix the issue, because the new 3DS has better online connectivity.
Really?
It's just faster overall.
Darn. Is that why?
So
Have you tried playing 20th on your new 3DS? Do you have one?
No, I can't. I don't have my new 3DS hacked.
Don't you?
I didn't want to take the
Just
risk.
do it. We need to know.
Can I?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
possible.
Can I even?
No, I just want to know because like I have a capture card for the old 3DS, but like if that play's gonna be terrible, then what do I do with my life?
What life? Thank you very much for watching, and be sure to keep up with us on social media. And if you want to see how competitive Puyo is really played, be sure to watch the recording of the Advent League Championship. I've been your host, Tucker, and thanks again. Bye-bye.